Well, it's Tuesday, February 25th, and I just put the request in, so it's on the record, to price match the Amazon Kindle price of the Deal of the Millennium book to be zero from $2.99 in order to match the original Apple Books price, which has always been zero. The reason that I didn't put the request in on February 14th, 2020, when I published the book to Amazon, is because the last time I put the request in, once the Amazon made the book $0, Notre Dame burned. Well, the U.S. equity markets, stock markets, Dow, S&P, the Nasdaq, all reached their all-time highs. Never higher for any of the markets. They reached them between February 12th and February 19th of 2020. Now, even though that's 8 calendar days because of the President's Day holiday, there were only 5 trading days in that branch. February 12th, 13th, 14th, which was a Friday, and then 18th, 19th, because you skipped the 17th and the weekend. Here's my point. Smack dab in the middle of those 5 days is Valentine's Day, or was Valentine's Day 2020. And that means that the highest prices that any U.S. stock markets, or that the major U.S. stock markets reached, I haven't looked at the other ones, but I assume they follow suit in that 5-day period. This book was published, The Deal of the Millennium was published on the median date, I guess. And since then, markets have begun to fall due to the coronavirus. Anyway, so now that the book's published, now that the request is in to make it $0, whenever that matches, perhaps tomorrow, it could take up to 72 hours is my guess, but it will be the equivalent as when the book was made publicly available on Amazon when Notre Dame burned, on August or April 15th of 2019. All that being said, I have no clue what's in store, although I assume that the coronavirus will flare up. I've already quit my job. I don't know, I'll have $1,300 to my name on Friday or perhaps Saturday, the final day of the month, when I leave, send my mom a copy of the book, and go check into a hotel, get a bottle of liquor, and be there for up to 2 weeks. After that, I have nothing. When I say maybe I should say motel. Let's see. So anyway, it's kind of where it's at. I did send the Apple Books, the free copy, to maybe 5 people from work, so they have copies of that. I know one is actually reading it. The first 4 or so, 5, maybe 6 chapters. What's the 6th chapter? Oh yeah, that. Okay, so the 7th chapter is when I make my first appearance. When Guy punches me in the face, and then the next chapter is when the reader gets to see the Antichrist revealed. So whenever he gets there, I won't know that he's made it that far until there's activity on the YouTube channel from the video that is that is unlisted, which I will be able to track his activity or anyone's activity through the YouTube tracking service or whatever. So I'll know when he pops out on chapter 7. But right now he's somewhere between 1 and 7. But he did say he was already a couple pages in, which tells me that the description and all that shit, as long as there's a warm intro, like an email note that I send someone, and then they go to the description, I can hook them with the email, and then they read the description, and then hopefully they start to read the book. It tastes super sweet, and then Antichrist is revealed, and then 12 more chapters to go, and then they're feeling euphoric is the plan. So that's what I got. I'm working on several different approaches, like for the first, when you first message someone or email them, what you say there before they're linked to the Amazon or iBooks description and the book for free. So how do I hook them? So I'm coming up with different templates, and really it's just a sales job. Not that I'll be selling people, I am selling people, but like I'm sort of saving souls or whatever. Interesting thing is, I know the peak of the markets. Growth-based economies cannot cannot survive a coronavirus where you have to shut down cities. And in a global world where everything's interconnected, it doesn't take long for a virus to travel globally and become a pandemic, which is what we're looking at now. So my mom, I planted the seed that she will be retiring, or her retirement age is next month on March 25th, which actually happens to be the date that they chose for 2021 in Italy to be Dante's sort of like Memorial Day, 700 years from his death, when in fact, 700 years from the completion of the Inferno is the most important date here. But either way, my mom shares the birthday with the Dante Remembrance Day or whatever. And she can continue working, at her job and hopefully and watching the stock market collapse, hoping that it doesn't do so, but it will, and lose her entire retirement. Or she can cut her losses as soon as I send her the book, read the thing, make the decision, and go to her heaven on earth. So it's her choice. But everyone else gets to decide their own fate too, in the book, as they read the book, like what you want to do next. So my job is just to announce these things, which is why I made the video. I think about these things.